I'd like to hear kind of, sort of the creative scope of just maybe one single song on the album, like Big Wheel, for example. Like from, just from the roots, the conception, the idea of the song to...
You picked a funny one, because this is the one that was written and recorded all in one day. It's the only one that happened with. And I woke up in the middle of the recording process and thought, I have to do this. I'm being driven to the piano. It was early morning, and I ran over to the studio. Nobody was up yet, and I got to the piano, and I started trying to remember what I'd heard in my dream. And by the time the guys got up, I was getting close to finishing it, and I ran into Matt first. He started picking up things and playing it, and then he grabbed John, and within a few hours we started tracking, and by the end of the day we had a complete track, which no other song happened in that way.
I see. How long did most of the other songs take from beginning to end?
Months. It took months for me to develop them as a composer, and sometimes I would only be getting a 2-bar phrase at a time. Rarely do the songs come in a completed form. So I get seen something through the ether. I see with my ears, and I jot something down that seems if it's coming from this other place. I can sit down and write something. If you said to me, will you go and write something now? I could deliver something to you, and I don't know, you could give me a time and I can do it. But it doesn't mean it's record worthy. So I have those songs that I'm doing as well, and I collect bridges, and I collect second verses, and I collect turnarounds, and I collect intros, and you build a repertoire. I think similar to a screenwriter, they collect ideas and dialogue and scenes, and that's sort of what I do. But when an inspirational sonic moment comes walking through your door, it's a very different feeling, and I grab onto that, and in order to complete it sometimes, then I go into my compositional vocabulary and start pulling these other ideas out.
So when do you know it's done?
The songs don't stalk me anymore.
Okay.
It's not that strange. It's a very, I've accepted that there's really very little doubt when they're finished, because the ghosts stop rattling, and they seem to give me their approval, and they move on.